I know Jake's been very involved in this as of recently, so and Dave Duff, who's on the steering committee, gave some great advice into Orleans meeting to call these areas, find out why they're involved, what they think about it. So one of the areas that has in New York State is Hudson Valley, and they've got a local land trust, named Scenic Hudson. And before I get into this, I do want to say I support our local land trust. And I spend a lot of time up in Clayton, and I look at some of the things they're doing, from the community gardens to the walking trails, and that's stuff that I can't wait until it's finally, it's here. And so I really appreciate, what Tilt does, but I wanted to know, what does this offer our local land trust? Why might they want it? Why might they not? And so I talked to 3 different people at the Scenic Hudson Land Trust. Otho Domingue, he's a GIS and land resource analyst. Carrie Watkins Bates, a project manager, and Seth McKee, their land conservation director, specifically. And we talked for almost a half an hour. And how I would sum it up is just by talking to these people, and even another nonprofit when I was down there. Scenic Hudson is very appreciative of the SASS designation and just what they're able to do, because they said, they're really the only green driving distance within New York City. And with that, if they weren't there and doing what they were, they said it'd be strip malls, parking lots, and shopping centers. And SASS has really helped because it's, as they put it, a playbook on where they should focus their resources. And it's allowed them to use the information to help plan and have targets for land conservation. And it helps, it creates a rationale for acquiring land to preserve, and it creates standards for what's important, like Jake said. It shows the public that the land is recognized by the state, and it helps them acquire land, but is also getting private donations and funding. They're able to approach private landowners whose lands fall under the SASS designation, as well as receive additional funding from that. And in addition, and then in 2007, they had a Saving the Land That Matters Most initiative, and then that helped them have a strategy for conserving the land, the SASS designation, and allowed them to organize and prioritize the land, as Seth put it. And it's helped them get municipal park grants that they were already eligible for, but it's put them higher on the list. But it's also opened them up to grants that they didn't have available without a state recognized designation. And every 3 years there's an open space plan that's revived, and you really want to be on that list because it helps you get more funding. So, and the last thing is that they've used this to go out and buy land neighboring their state parks to expand state parks. What happens is land will come up for sale. The state is not able to act fast enough, so they'll come in, buy the land that's under the state designated area, and then the state will buy that off of them. The other part is that they'll buy land that comes up for sale and start new state parks. I'm not saying that I'm against what Tilt does. I see a lot of the different benefits here, and I understand you as an individual, Jake. You're a taxpayer and a father, like a lot of us here. But Tilt has a lot to offer, but for the general public, for those that, it depends on which way you look at it, and I think it definitely has potential more harm than good in regards to the land use regulations that it could impose from the regulatory.
SASS or Tilt?
No, Tilt has a lot to offer.
Okay, but what's the opposite you said? You were saying.
So, Tilt has a lot to potentially benefit from this designation, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Just taking it a step further from your response.
Okay. I'd love to address you.
We can talk.
No, I'd like to do it here.
Oh,